Okay, welcome back, everyone. This is Maureen Siddiqui. I have Alexis with me. We also have a special guest. I'll introduce her in a moment. We are live with Successful Women Spill the Tea. And what we do in this podcast is, and going live, is that we want to share with the audience where we bring in guests and we talk about how they reach their success. And today we have a very special treat. We've got Tara Eusebi on with us, and she is the founder and chief blesser of Bless mobile app. And her story is that in 2018, Tara stepped away from her successful career in corporate America to pursue her passion for helping others. And this pursuit led to the creation and development of Bless, which is a mobile app that is bringing communities together to help one another in every part of the world. And her journey is so inspiring and encouraging because of the countless passion that she's brought in by taking on her dreams, stepping away from like her corporate job and just going after it because she really wanted to inspire and help others around the world. So welcome so much, Tara. We're so excited to have you. This is a first for us to meet someone who actually left the corporate to start a nonprofit, which is on their own with nothing else. It's not like they were joining anything else, but really just starting from ground zero and making it so as successful as it is today. So we're so excited to have you.
Oh, I'm excited to be here. Thank you both for the opportunity. I'm grateful and look forward very much to sharing my story, hoping to inspire others that they could do the same thing.
Yes, absolutely. So what we'd really like to hear, Tara, is that, what happened? Like, what was it that had you really realize that you needed to step away from your corporate thing? Like, did something click? Did you always know you wanted to do this? So what really happened at that moment that was like, that's it, I quit, and this is what I'm going to do?
I love talking about this. So, I had worked many jobs in my life, like all of us do. We're kind of trained up that way. We need to go to work. But I always knew kind of like all along, never felt completely satisfied in any role that I held. I always felt like there's got to be more than this. I'm not really good at somebody telling me when I have to come to work and when I can take vacation. And I just want more freedom, and I don't want anyone putting a cap on how much money I can make. So all of these things kind of were carried with me through my life. And, the pivotal moment was in 2017 when I was asked a question that literally changed my course. And it was such a simple question, but that day it hit me. And the question was, what is your passion? What is it that you ultimately want to do? And in that moment, I was working a successful job in corporate America. Things had gotten kind of rough in the job that I held, but I am a loyalist. I mean, if I'm there till I die, unless I feel in my heart it's time to move on. And, when this question was posed to me, I answered without hesitation. I said, you know what? If I could do anything, you know what I would do? I would go bless people. And I started to list all these people who I would go and help if I'd had the day off. And then I went off to work. That was really the moment that the seed for this began to sprout up on the inside of me. And it wasn't long after that, the next pivotal moment, I was in the grocery store and I just had this thought. If you knew that your neighbor or your coworker or the person you're passing here in the market had a need that you could help with, would you help? And I was like, yes, I would totally help. But then I thought, how can I know what people really need? And then that was the moment when the vision for Bless as a mobile app started to come alive on the inside of me. And I was still working in corporate America at that time. And I began to just see this come up on the inside of me and started just sketching out different ideas I had. But in all honesty, work was so consuming that I could only go so far. And so that kind of went on for a little bit of time. I started to do the things that I knew I could do to start to make things happen. But I really knew in my heart, this isn't something I'm going to be able to really drive forward being in this position. And after much thought and prayer and really talking with close family, not everyone. When you're going through something like this, you can't discuss this with everyone. This is something that you need to discuss with people that are close to you, that care about you and your well-being above anything else, because they'll be the ones that advise you most wisely. And so that's what I did. And, you know, it was a difficult decision to submit a resignation notice. And it was February 2018 when I finally decided, this is it. I've got to leave corporate America. I have to pursue this passion that's in my heart. And I turned in the notice, and my flesh was just shaking like crazy. But I did it, and didn't really know where it would go or what would happen. But I just knew that I had such strong passion on the inside of me to help humanity that I had to go forward with it.
So Tara, just before you went in and turned in that resignation, for how long were you contemplating, and what fears were there that was stopping you that you had to overcome? Like, was it, you know, how you're going to survive? Who's going to help me? Like, what were those things that you were really contemplating that gets us stopped from taking that courageous step?
Yeah, a lot of unknown. I contemplated probably for a month or more. You know, really wanting to make sure that this is the right choice. I mean, tons of thoughts go through your head. You're a fool. What do you think you're doing? I mean, you're crazy. Like, you're leaving a job that pays you well. Okay, yes, the environment isn't that great, but you know, you can make it through this. This is a secure thing. In a sense, you know, you've already got it. You're successful in it. You know, then the thought about my responsibilities, my family. You know, I have a very close-knit family, even though I don't have children and I'm not married, but I'm very close to my parents and my brother. And I make sure that I can do whatever I can to help them. And thinking about them and wanting to make sure that I could continue to bless them, you know, all came into play. And just your day-to-day responsibilities, it was huge. And then the unknown of like, okay, this is a great idea, but where is this really headed? I mean, at that moment, there was no design of the app. There was a thought only. But I knew in my heart I couldn't move forward even with the design of it if I was still working there, because it was taking every ounce of energy I had. And there just came this moment where courage just rose up on the inside. And it was like, I won't be able to rest if I don't move forward with this. And I had to push ahead despite the fear. And that was that trembling that day. I mean, here I'm walking into my boss's office with this resignation letter, and literally I don't shake. I'm not a nervous person, but you know, literally you could feel this sensation, this emotion, and breaking through. And I remember the moment that moment ended, what relief I felt. So see, that fear will come in and try to challenge you, and what it's intended to do is paralyze you so that you don't move forward on anything, but you have to do it. The key here for everyone is you have to know this vision. You have to know what you're setting out to do. You can't do it without this vision in front of you, because the vision is what you rely on as you continue on. When things out there don't look like you think they should look, but you have it written down on the in front of you, what was given to you on the inside, then you can stay focused on that. And it becomes so big that you realize it's already done. It's just a matter of time for it to manifest out here. And that's what happened to me. You know, the vision for Bless and changing lives one need at a time, and ultimately changing the world by doing this, and then uniting humanity and impacting generations, has become so big on the inside. It's too late for anyone to convince me of anything else than this happening. And the coolest part is it's already taking place.
That is so amazing, Tara. I'm going to have to apologize, because I know I'm going to be completely inarticulate through this entire episode, because I am so inspired and in awe of you and your story. And I've always believed that, you know, humanity at its core is good. And, you know, you just talking about it is literally like, if you could, I'm having a visceral reaction to this conversation, because I think so many people have this, this drive and this, this passion sort of sewn into their heart, but they don't pursue it because of that fear. They let that fear stop them. They let the expectations of the outside world stop them. And I think it's not easy. Like you said, like it was probably terrifying for you to take that step. And I just heard this quote. I want to say it's Tony Robbins, but I apologize if it's not, but that success without fulfillment is life's biggest failure. And that quote hit me in such a way the other day that I was like, that's what I feel like the world needs to know. And I feel like you're like a breathing, living, walking example of that. And we tamp down those dreams because, for fear of embarrassment, for fear of failure, for fear of not living up to other people's expectations. But when you do it, I feel like that is the greatest success of all, no matter how it turns out. We were talking about this just before, if you impact one person, like many people want to impact millions. And of course, that's an amazing goal. It's an amazing aspiration to have. But if you can help one person, if you inspire one person, change one person's life for the better, that is a success through and through in my book. So I just want to hear more of the things that you have gone through and gotten you to today. What would you say, I guess, how do you handle setbacks? Because I feel like something like this that is so unknown, and, like we said, you went from a stable corporate job, comfortability, that's where we want to live. That's where our brains want us to be, with what's safe and what's comfortable, to step outside of that. And it's not like once you step outside of that, it's just everything is perfect. So how do you deal with setbacks during your journey and through your journey?
The way I do that, Alexis, is because it comes back to that vision. Because when setbacks come, like yesterday, for example, this is real talk. Our server was down for most of the day. I couldn't access the app. No one could access the app. You couldn't get on my website. I couldn't receive emails. And it's like, you want to panic. But it comes back to this vision that's on the inside of you, this ultimate goal that you've seen. And it's so big in me that every time a setback comes, or every time some type of discouragement tries to come in, I remind myself of where we're headed and what Bless is already doing and what it's going to do, because we're not just stopping with the app. This goes way beyond Bless as an app. This is going to be a global name. Everyone in the world will know Bless. It'll be a household name, a household app. It'll be on your desktops in the future, so you can use it on your computers. And you'll see Bless in communities. You'll see Bless trucks delivering goods to families and even businesses. You'll see our supply houses where people can come and buy without money. You'll see communities coming together to help one another in every part of the world through this app and through this vision. And so you see, this is so big that when a setback comes, it doesn't matter, because I see it already on the inside, and I know it will manifest on the outside as long as I keep moving forward. It can become really overwhelming when you have a vision like this, or you have an idea like this, or you have a passion that's so strong on the inside, and you wonder, how can I even begin? It's so important that you do what you can with what you have. You just start. At the beginning stages of Bless, when I was still working, I knew in my heart I should start somewhere. So that's where those sketches came in. Like, what will the logo look like? What will the app start to look like? And I started doing what I could. I got Bless trademarked while I was still working. It was a step that I could take with ease. And so this is where you need to hone in on your vision and just break it down to these baby steps to make it happen. But keep that big vision before you, so that when setbacks come, you go, oh no, that doesn't matter, because this is what I see. This is where we're headed. And that's subject to change. And you keep moving forward.
That's incredible. I feel like that sums up so much of Maureen and I's coaching, and because people are always dealing with setbacks, and it's so nice to see that, I mean, happen in real time, in real life. Like a year from now, when Bless is, has blown up and everybody and their mother knows about it, this day back in September when the servers went down means squat, right? Yep. Like, absolutely. And sometimes I feel like, especially in our industry, in coaching, a lot of it, or even in school, like theory is important, and that's where it all comes from. But when you see it play out in real life, it's like, I don't know, it's like two worlds collide and just magic happens. Unbelievable.
Thank you, I guess is what I should say. I mean, I'm grateful, and when you were mentioning about success, you were exactly right. Like for me, I know I'm already successful. It doesn't matter how many users I have on Bless. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. The fact that I took this passion on the inside and I've stepped in to make it happen, I've stepped out to do it. As soon as I said yes, success, done. And now it's just all these bonuses on top, changing lives, uniting humanity, making a difference any way we can. And it's happening so much, it's so moving how people are reaching out. In this past month, I've had 2 different classmates reach out to me that I went to high school with. We weren't even close friends in high school, but they've seen what's happened with Bless and they keep watching. People are always watching, and this most recent one that reached out, it was a heart cry. She said, I keep seeing your posts that say it's okay to share a need. We need permission to share needs nowadays because we've forgotten that we need each other and that it is okay to have a need and it's okay to share it, because when you share it, then others know, and knowing empowers others to help. And so it's so important to know that we all have needs and we have permission to share them. That's what Bless is for. And so when she reached out to me, she shared a need with me. And it was her heart. And it was the best part of it was, 1, I was there for her. 2, I was able to help her same day meet that need. And this is amazing. So touching a life like this, and then even last night, I'm getting messages on Bless from a woman in South Carolina whose little baby, it has heart failure. She's crying out to me, just needing someone to be there because she's scared, she's lonely, she needs help, and I'm there for her. All these little things, you don't realize people just need people, a listening ear, a helping hand. Yes, sometimes money, okay? Food, yes, food, clothes, all these things, but down to a listening ear, just to know that there's another human there that cares. No strings attached, no tricks, no gimmicks. See, that's a thing about Bless. There's no side deal here. Bless is a pure platform for users to come and share their needs, to offer help for one another. There are no ads to distract from its purpose and content. We're not taking your information and selling it like many other platforms do. We're not doing anything like that. Why? Because this is literally a gift from my heart to humanity so that we can come together to help one another. There is no tricks here at all. That's what this platform's for. It's a safe place. And we want people to know that, it's unlike any other. And people will start to realize it more and more. I have to convince them there's no tricks here. This is the real deal, a pure thing, because we're so used to the fine print. We see free, and then there's fine print with a huge paragraph. Yeah, you'll not find any fine print with regard to Bless. It is a gift.
Tara, I want to call you the modern day Mother Teresa, because not only you're in there, and not only are you just in your community, but you're reaching out to people all over the world. And you found the platform, you took advantage. Like, people are, we've got all these electric social media, digital accessibility to do so many things, but you took advantage of that and brought it to the better good for humanity, because that's what is a testament, a true testament of how you can turn all the things that you have, all the resources that you have, and really create a massive change in the world, and at a broader level. So we've got access to, through Zoom, through apps, through all the social media, to really make an impact in the world in a big way, not just
Right.
in our family, in our community, but like massively, and where you can create teams all over the world. I mean, it's just phenomenal what you've taken. It's truly inspiring. When you were telling me about it, I actually got chills down, up and down my body when you were saying it, because I was, to be standing here with you and to be hearing this and be sharing with our audience what it took for you. I mean, it's no joke to be standing there at your job and being like, what am I doing? Why am I here? People need me. And I know this vision. I have this dream and I need to make sure it's happening. And I'm stuck here and I can't move forward with this dream because of what? A paycheck? For the business to grow in their area? How is that going to impact the world? And that's what I'm ready to step into. And I hear that that's what you took, and you really launched something that's really phenomenal. And I want to tell the audience, like, go to your mobile app right now. She has it for the Android and for the Apple iPhone, the iOS, and it's called Bless. Is it Bless mobile app when you look it up? I'm going to check again. I already
Actually,
downloaded it.
just look up Bless and you will see this black and white logo. I think we're either number 2 or 3 on the list for both Apple and Google Play Store. You can go direct to our website, bless-app.com, and you can get them both there. You know, it's a free gift.
That's awesome. And you know, one of the 5 habits that we teach in our coaching is about having clarity. It's about maintaining your energy, generating your own energy, having courage, increasing your productivity, and having influence. And what I hear from you is you've mastered all 5 of those habits. That's what it takes to be a high performer and be successful. You've got, you know, that ultimate level of clarity. You're generating your own energy because your clarity is so clear, and you see your future vision of what it is already to be done. You're just unfolding it along the way.
Right.
And then productivity is being very, very structured in all the steps that need to happen, and being able to, when those setbacks happen, to turn things around and put things back in place as they need to be. And sometimes something bigger comes out of that, because you may be at this stage now, you could be at another stage, and when this setback happens, you're already set up for success to eliminate it with it much higher efficiency than you probably did this time. And then, you know, we talked about courage. We talked courage, stepping into your courage. We also talked about influence. So really influencing people, and not only influencing those who want to help people, but people who are in need, because they struggle with, like you said, like asking for permission to ask for help, right? There's some kind of stigma around that it makes you feel weak, or that it may perceived as you're weak. It actually not at all. People want to help. So when you're not asking for that need, you're not allowing people the opportunity to help. I always say, when somebody is asking me, or I work with a lot of local non-charities, so when they are like, thank you for your support, I'm like, thank you for the opportunity. Because we're so wrapped up in our world, our own world, we forget that there's all this other things that are happening. And what you've done is every night you could just go on to Bless, see who's needing something, and making it happen at your fingertips as you're going to bed, first thing in the morning, during your lunch break, at any time, sitting in the parking lot, sitting, you know, wherever. It takes you maybe 5-10 minutes to go through and find out who you want to help and make it happen immediately. And what I also see, there's pure transparency on how it's being handled. And I love that about your nonprofit. And I really it's the highest honor for us to have you on our, speaking to us and to our audience, to really touch, move, and inspire our listeners to what you have created. Thank you so much for that.
Well, thank you again for the opportunity. And I do want to let you know, Bless is actually a for-profit company. You know, when I created it, I knew it needed to be for-profit. I don't have a stream of revenue right now, but there is something coming that will make that happen. You know, originally my thought was, okay, this app will be similar. We'll have ads, that kind of thing. Real quick, it was like, no, this app will be like none other. And this needs to be a gift for humanity. Why? Because humanity needs a gift. They need a free gift, no strings attached. And so my heart was changed on that, but my sights are set. I know there's more to come. So, it's amazing what happens when you step out, the doors that open. And I just want to encourage everyone out there. You have this passion on the inside of you. There is something there. There is a gift and a talent that's been placed within you, and humanity is waiting for you to step into it. Just go baby step by baby step and watch how the doors open. That's what's happened with Bless. I mean, I could go on and on about this journey of like, okay, now I need to find a development team. Oh my gosh, it's going to cost this much money. How is this going to happen? And then it's shifting and changing, and it happening with just supernaturally, honestly, to where a team is connected with me that has the heart for this and is willing to do it at a fraction of the price. Bless is debt free. We don't owe anything. We've done this debt free. And the finances always come in. The supply is always there. People are reaching out. How can we help you do what you do? And at first it was like, I didn't know anyone would want to support it, even though it's a for-profit, but they're wondering, how can we help? So we're getting ready to announce Bless Supply. You can already access it through the website, where you can give into Bless through Venmo or PayPal, so that you can support not only the app and keeping it up and running and all the future developments of it, but you can also support families. So maybe you don't want to give directly through the app. You can give to Bless, and we are vetting families because we already have that system in place in Bless anyway. It's called Vouch for Me. But we vet different people that reach out direct for help and make sure they're legit, because that's so important. The safety of humanity is important. We're well aware there's scams out there. There are people that just set out to do wrong. So with Vouch for Me in place, you can make sure you can build trust within the app. And so we've got that in place, but you can give towards this and help us in our mission to change the world by changing lives one need at a time, uniting humanity and impacting generations. It's powerful what we're doing, and you guys ain't seen nothing yet.
That is like music to our ears.
Yeah. Tara, I have a quick question. I work with two nonprofits here locally. One of them is helping the community. The other one is NOR Family Services. So we deal with women with from domestic violence, coming from homes of domestic violence. The other one's helping the community. So we're also trying to develop a program that people can get help. So is there are you creating something that you can also work with other NGOs to so that they can bring in, I don't know how it would work with the domestic violence, because they want to keep things anonymous for those, for their safety. But there are these NGOs. Is that something that they could reach out to you and maybe partner with and come up with a plan on how to they can utilize your platform to helping some of the people that they have families that are in need in the area?
Absolutely. Okay, so first of all, we're working actively right now on community resources. And you can go to bless-app.com. Up in the menu, you'll see a community resources application. Any organization, whether you're a not-profit or you're a for-profit, if you give back to your community, you can apply to be a part of community resources on Bless. So we're working right now to build up that database of organizations, and then we're going to integrate it into the app. So if it's domestic violence, you can click on the category, and in your area, you're going to see, where can I get help? Food, financial assistance, whatever it is. So we're working on that. We need organizations to come and be a part that way. Secondly, you can create groups on Bless. They can be public for anyone to join and be a part of, or they can be private, where then in a private group, you can share a need privately. So like these women that are going through what they're going through, and maybe they need someone to talk to, maybe whatever, they need to share their struggles or their personal needs. They can keep it within that private group only. And then if they have other things they want to ask for the community for help with, they can share a need publicly, or they can offer help publicly or privately for just that group. So it can work that way. Now with community resources, it will develop into something. I see this for the future where organizations will be able to partner with us at a greater level to where we'll actually endorse them. Okay. And when we do, what I'm hoping to be able to do is offer a part of our platform. This hasn't been created, so this is kind of hot off the press as we're talking. Offer a part of our platform where they can share what their needs are with the community so that others can then help them with what they have need of, volunteer, whatever it is, and do it all through Bless. So this is future, but maybe it's closer than I think.
That's amazing.
Phenomenal.
Unbelievable. I have one quick question that kind of came to mind as you were talking about, people in similar positions where they are helping others, as a full-time job like you are. How do you deal with compassion fatigue when, you're even just being an ear for somebody? It's different when it's one-on-one and it's a friend, but when it's kind of all the time, that can take a toll on you individually. And then that idea of just taking on so many, of other people's problems and emotions and things like that. So I'm sure you've maybe experienced something along those lines. How do you deal with that, with compassion fatigue and things like that?
It's an interesting question. And I first would like to say that there was a time in my life, and not that long ago, that I didn't like people in general. It'd be hard to believe, right? I really didn't like anybody. And what I found out was I didn't like me. And so once I made those adjustments and started to appreciate and love myself and who God created me to be, he really began to put a heart of compassion on the inside of me. And I just have to be honest in saying this continues to evolve. And it almost brings me to tears because he's doing such a work in my heart to where I don't really feel like I have fatigue over it. It moves me. And like last night when I'm communicating with this lady about her little baby, my heart was just, so I was just praying for her. I was praying for her family. And I think that's a big one for me, is the connection and relationship that I have with God, and really having that balance of staying focused on that relationship so that he can give me the strength that I need to help people, because that's what he's called us in this world to do. Regardless of your religious upbringing or whatever, for me, I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. Bless is for all humanity. So you're never going to see Jesus preached or any religion like that. It's not faith-based, but for me personally, it's my heart to want to help people. And it's becoming greater and greater on the inside of me, where before I maybe would judge people. Why are you doing this? Why are you making these decisions? Why would I give anything to you? Because look at what you've done, kind of thing. Where now all that shifted. It's really unreal to think that now I look at it and I say, something happened. What happened to you that you're here? How can I help bring you out and love you up out of this? And now they're having an encounter with the pure love of God that I've experienced that's changed my life, and I want it to change their life. And so I don't know if I have that fatigue, but just kind of like a greater desire to, like last night, my cry was, Lord, how can I help better? Like, what can I do for this woman who's going through this? I want to help in a greater way. Just give me more ideas, show me. And so hopefully that answers your question, but it's amazing what can happen, in your heart when you just start to change your perspective and look at people differently. Because we're all human. We all make mistakes. We all go through things. And we really do need each other without judgment.
Well, this is definitely the most emotional. I don't know if you can see, the tears are literally streaming down my face, because in this, 30 minutes, I literally feel a sense of, I feel like humanity has shifted because of people like you in the world. And not all of us have to, step away from, our careers. But I think that it just shows me that when we help somebody, we help that person, but I feel like it also helps us, right? I feel like we have the biggest benefit from when we help others. And I think this is such an important conversation to have, because with the state of the world right now and everything going on, I think more positivity needs to be going out there, more wanting to help, more compassion, more understanding, and more listening. And I just, to me, it's just, I don't know, it's these conversations that I think everybody that hears that is going to be forever changed in some way moving forward. And anything from, I've had this conversation for years with friends that, you know, especially as women, do you ever have that feeling like you want to compliment another woman, but you just don't? For whatever reason, you don't know how to say it. You know, just your hair looks great today. Or, do you know what? I love that you're always smiling, but we don't say it for whatever reason. But how much better would the world be if we did all those positive things, said all those positive things, helped when we could, asked the question, gave the 5 minutes on the phone to the friend that was having a bad day? Like, this is not just, you know, psycho babble or woo woo. Like, this could be, you know, looking, you know, through rose colored glasses. Like, this should be the movement forward. It's, like I said, I'm not going to be eloquent in my speaking here because I'm so emotionally moved by your story, by what you're doing, and just this whole conversation. So again, thank you is all I can say.
You know, blessing others is really what I call the ultimate bad day cure. You know, if you're having, anytime I'm feeling like a little off, I'm like, okay, wait, I got to go bless somebody. Something has to happen here. And as soon as I step out, whether it's, you know, just messaging, being available for somebody, I'm telling you, it charges you up, whether it's that smile or that kind word, or taking those items that have been sitting in your garage forever that your neighbor could probably use and sharing them on Bless. See, that's the other cool thing. You can offer to meet a need on Bless anytime. You don't have to wait for someone to share their need. You can offer help your way in your time and give with purpose, on purpose, you know, instead of just putting it on the curb. Give intentionally, intending to change their life. And what will happen is your life will change. There'll be a part of your heart that softens. There'll be energy and there'll be this strength that comes to you when you do this. I'm telling you, it becomes an addiction and you realize, I've got to go bless people so that I can be recharged. And it's really what it's all about. It's a win-win for everyone.
Tara, you said something that really sparked something, you know, something that my husband and I, going through this whole COVID-19, the pandemic, even in our family, people like losing their jobs, you know, they're out of work. And we are fortunate enough that we both have work from home jobs, so we weren't impacted, and our companies weren't impacted. And what really we were saying to each other is like, being blessed means that we also have a responsibility to help those that need to be blessed, you know? So it's almost like that cycle of the give and take cycle. If you're given, it is also your responsibility to give, you know? So it's that payback. Yeah, the payback, you know? And that's what we've been doing, is like reaching out to family first and then to friends and who needs help. And I encourage those that are listening that if you've been blessed during this time or at any time, that's one way that you can also give back, because abundance always comes back when you're always giving. And one of the things that we also talk about in our coaching is in our energy. Your energy is feeling low and you just don't know what it is that you want to do, go help someone. Step out that door and go help somebody, or call somebody, even just uplifting someone, right? Sometimes they just need that support, that someone's going to listen to them. If you can't physically go, right now we're social distancing, then give them a call and give them words of encouragement. Help them create a plan for themselves to how to get out of it. Let them know about this app Bless, that they can go in and ask for help. And I think I even saw on there that some people were just wanting to speak to somebody, right? There was somebody that just wanted to have a visitor, because people are so isolated, especially these older people really worry about them, that being cut off from their family and then being isolated. I mean, we're human beings, we feed off of each other's energy. And when you're not getting that energy, it's very difficult. It's very difficult.
It's so true. It's so true. You know, there's many ways to help. And so being blessed and being able to give back out of that abundance is so important. But I like to let people know, no matter what position you're in, you know, I had a lady that I reached out and helped. She's like, oh, you know, when I have more, I'll give back. I said, you know what? You can start right now. You have a listening ear. You have a helping hand to lend. And she was like, oh, you're right. See, people don't realize there's value. There is so much value in you as a human being. It doesn't have to be your things. It doesn't have to be your finances. It can be all of that, and it can make a difference, because you'd be amazed what an impact an old iPad can have on a high schooler that doesn't have one. You know, simple things like this that can change a course. And we've seen this time and time again. But there are really no excuses. Everyone has something to give. Everyone has a need to share, and everyone has help to offer. And Bless provides the opportunity for all that. And then the best part for me is going through the blessings feed and seeing lives that are impacted and changed, and help that's been given in my local community and around the world. And I want to see more and more. I want to see this app flooded with so much need, help, and blessing that it's where everyone turns for their good news, because they're seeing lives impacted throughout the world. You know, this is really the vision for it. And it's amazing what we can do. We just need to remember and get back to our roots that are on the inside, you know, that it's embedded in each one of us to help one another. We do it in when rough things go on. What do you see? You see humanity rise up. Doesn't matter what color you are, what religion, what politics, it doesn't matter. We lock arms and we forge ahead to help one another. And we need to do it every day. And then all the disasters, I think, would be prevented. You know, we would just be operating in a kinder world every moment.
Absolutely. And you know what? I think you made such a good point right there, in that when tragedy strikes on a global level, you see the most beautiful parts of humanity coming out. But sometimes there's tragedy in an individual life. Yep. And, you know, my heart goes out to just that story you shared. I have young kids. I can't imagine if I had to deal with something like that. But that's a catastrophe in that woman's life, or for that family. And I think that's what we forget about, is that, you know, when they're, and don't get me wrong, of course, I want to support, you know, anybody that I can in global crises, but also in individual crises. We forget how impactful that simple phone call, or, you know, a text message, or just an offer to listen is so powerful. Because, I mean, as a coach, and, you know, Maureen, I know you know this too, just the act of talking through your worries or talking through your struggles is therapeutic. And not to say that it's going to solve the problem, but it's definitely going to help and maybe give that person the strength to forge on, to continue to be strong for whoever they have to be. And again,
it's so important. And, you know, one more I'd like to share. I know we're running out of time. We're actually over time.
No.
But, you know, there was not long ago, someone else reached out to me on Bless and was crying out because she was suffering from drug and alcohol addiction. She literally is writing to me and saying, you know, I'm out of drugs. I've been hiding this from my roommates. I have nothing left but alcohol. I need godly people around me. She's just reaching out for help, crying out, and, you know, suffering from addiction in the moment. And at first I was just like, oh my gosh, my heart was moved so much. One, that she's using Bless to cry out, because that's my heart's cry, that they would know they can go there and get help. And so I said, you know what? I have a friend that's been through this, and now she teaches Celebrate Recovery. You know, can I put her in contact with you? And I was able to connect the two. And now she has this person that can help her through. She knows she's there. See, people still have to choose. They still have to decide what they want. But now she has someone that cares. I could go on, man, where we paid rent for people. We had the whole community around the world came together to pay rent for a 20-year-old single mom with an 8-month-old baby facing eviction. And from around, even India gave money toward this mama. We exceeded her goal. She stayed in her home. And it all happened because of Bless, you know, in this community, and people realizing, like, look, if each one of us give $10, you know, if 150 of my nearly 5,000 Facebook friends give $10, we could save this woman's life. And then she wrote to me later and said, I'm going to make sure that my son knows about this. I want him to carry it on. that was it. I was like, okay, mission accomplished. Hang it, let's keep going forward and getting more people and impacting generations. This is the power behind this. So never take for granted the little things you can do, even those compliments that we're so bad at giving sometimes. It can literally make someone's day and change their course. There's so much power in this.
There really is.
Absolutely. So I wanted to end with, first of all, thanking you for coming on and sharing your inspiring story and really moving us to tears today. I don't think we've had one that has actually moved us to tears. I mean, I'm choked up. I can't even talk right now. And I wanted to share for those of you who are watching the video, I've put up the app. It's called Bless Uniting Humanity. It's right there. You can see I've already got it downloaded. So check it out. If you haven't downloaded it already, please do that. It's a really great opportunity for you to get out there and help others. And thank you again so much, Tara, for your story, for what it took for you to step out of your corporate role and really start a humanity-based centric, movement in this world, and being the, spearheading that and creating your own team. I see you being very global, probably a huge corporation that's causing humans to actually connect and be able to help each other, right? At a whole nother level. I can see your vision. You've shared it with us today. And thank you for sharing that with us, overcoming your fear, stepping into your destiny, and that we get to reap the world gets to reap the benefits of that because of the steps that you took in your life for humanity. Thank you for that.
Thank you, guys. I mean, you're moving me to tears now. Thank you guys so much for the opportunity, for offering your platform to share this and your willingness to share Bless, this gift for humanity. Y'all just watch, come be a part, help us in this. It's not a movement. This is a revolution. We're changing the world by changing lives one need at a time, uniting humanity and impacting generations through the power of Bless. Come be a part and help me in this mission.
We're there. I've got it downloaded. You will see me on there. It's going to be my new Instagram, like my new place to go to unwind and get my, fill up my own cup. So thank you so much for being here today and for everything that you're doing.
Thank you, ladies. Very, very much.
Find the Bless mobile app on Facebook, LinkedIn. I'll post all the links so that they can find you. And we'll also send out, this will be up in the recordings in our Facebook page, Goal Set Coach. It'll also be on YouTube, so you can find it there. We'll also post it up on our podcast, Successful Women Spill the Tea. Thank you so much. I'm Maureen Siddiqui. Alexis Lanahan's here with me. We're with Goal Set Coach, and we're very honored and pleased to have Tara with Bless mobile app here with us today. Thank you all so much. Have a great rest of your week.